Hello, my name's David Linton, and I want to share with you how to read our morning call European Energy Report. We put it out every morning, and it's really simple, and I just want to explain to you just how it works. So, just when you see the cover page here, this is the key thing, this red square. Uh, Red is bearish, orange is neutral, and green is bullish. And if it's bold, that's a change from the previous day's call. So we cover crude oil, US natural gas, carbon emissions in Europe, and then TTF and NBP gas, German power, and Nordic power. It's that simple. It takes me a few minutes every morning to produce the report, and I get it out to clients as soon as I possibly can. So in Updata, I literally just run from the automation menu. I just run the report, and it runs all the charts for me, and I just go next, next, next. There's 16 charts, and then that produces a PowerPoint. And then in the PowerPoint, all I do is then just update the calls and then update the commentary around the report. So that's the commentary. So really, it's that simple. So really, it's a case of just understanding the targets, and there's quite a few videos on the targets. So the first chart in the report is the 60-minute chart for Brent crude, and in fact, we can just look at the report that you will see that you get, and it's a PDF, and you can just click the instrument, and it'll take you straight to the instrument you want. So if your interest is TTF, you can just go straight to TTF every day just by clicking that instrument on the report. But let's go through these charts one by one. So this is a 60-minute cloud chart with the targets on, and that's the time frame of the chart. So we're thinking days ahead. These are the previous targets here, and then we see the new targets. The targets in bold are the ones that have not yet been met, and the targets that are not in bold have been met. These are the initial thrusts that generate the targets. There's quite a few videos on how to understand that, and then we give a little bit of commentary. We make our call, so here it's bearish because we're below the cloud and we've got downside targets, and these levels here are key levels that have been achieved in the last, in this case, 83 periods. We just highlight a bit on the chart, and that takes into account the last X periods. Sometimes that will be adjusted, and if there's a very important level, we'll mark it on the chart, and I'll give it in the commentary. Here we see the price targets that generated in the last week, and this is what we're saying, watch for new price targets that will be generated in the coming week. And of course, if you're using Updata, you see those targets generated live. So then we go to the next level where we're talking about today. So that 60-minute chart is effectively our backdrop. And then the 1-minute chart is really, if you're trading this is what you want to be watching today. We see we've got a new downside target. These are the key levels. These are actually based on the intra-minute. This is a 1-minute chart, intra-minute high-low. So actually we have touched lower, and 80.40 is the intra-minute low. But I'm using a line chart here for clarity. The candle charts just are a little bit much on a 1-minute chart. And so here we've got the downside target, and you will see new targets being generated today. And in tomorrow's report, those new targets will be over here. So you can see how they've been met. So these were the targets not quite met because they're still in bold, but they were given yesterday, and they may well be met today. And then they will not be bold, they'll change. So then we go to Brent crude, so WTI, we call that next. And then in the report, we go to US nat gas. We're neutral here, even though we're below the cloud. We have got a little bit of a mixed picture. So we're just calling that neutral. We've got a little upside target, 1.7% higher today, and a downside target and a range. So if we're not sure, we'll call it neutral. If we've got strong conviction, we'll call it higher. This is emissions today, for example, and we see here we've got this orange target. This will only be activated and turn bold green with a new activation, a move above the high. We're using a 1% of price units. If you don't understand that, watch the targets, and a slope of 1-to-1, which means 1 unit every hour on this chart. And those units will change depending on the instruments we're looking at. And here we see, we are starting to cross the cloud, and we say here we want to see a break above this 66.50 level for really to have a stronger conviction for bullish. New targets will appear, and that's the key. And this is the 1 minute chart for emissions today. And again, new targets will appear, and all of today's targets will then be shown in the report tomorrow. So you'll see how well they worked each day. Here's TTF, for example. And interestingly, we're neutral here. The target that was given yesterday has been met. That's on the 60-minute chart. The downside target was nearly met. And then if we go to the 1 minute chart, we see we had these targets yesterday all been met. And I do this at 8 o'clock in the morning at the market opening, so the picture will have changed, which is why if you're trading these things, you want to be watching these targets in real time, and all of today's targets that will be generated will show up on yesterday's chart in the report. So these are the price targets generated yesterday, and these are the price targets generated today. Here we're using 0.05% of the price because it's a 1 minute chart, more sensitive, and here we're saying 2 units. So this is saying every 1 unit every 2 minutes is what we're expecting there on the targets. Again, if you don't understand that, please watch the video on how the targets work. And then the MBP, unusually, this is looking a little bit more bullish than TTF this morning. We've got more room to a target. We are hitting a little bit of resistance there, but we are just looking more bullish. And we go to the 1 minute chart, we see the target there. So that's quite key. And then German power, we're neutral because it's not a given that we're turning the corner here. We're moving above the cloud, but we want to break this level. The 85 level is what we talked about to be sure of a new trend. And again, you'll see those new targets here, less liquid than gas. This is off EX coming from Montel. The data can come from anywhere you like, so you could write these reports yourself on TradePort if you wish. And so here we do have some upside targets, just looking a little bit clearer than TTF this morning. Nordic Power, there's the neutral call again. Yesterday's targets met. And then at the end of the report, we do have an explainer, a little bit, it explains all the different elements on the chart. So you could look at that each day. Those explainer charts are not going to change. That's just an example of how they work. But hopefully this video gives you a very good idea of how to work. So just remember, this is done every morning at a point in time. So I could easily look at the chart and see how it's changed. So there's Brent crude, and if I was in Updata, I go to the next chart in the report, it's going to pull up that chart, and we can see that we've actually had a move up. So, it doesn't always follow that you go straight there. So that's been a reactive move. A watch, if we get a pullback and then a move higher, we will get a new target. So new targets will generate here. So that's really quite key. And I can just go through and look at each of the charts in the report with all the targets on. That's how the report is produced. So the key thing to watch every day is just how these targets are calling for the day ahead. This is your roadmap for the coming days, and you want to then look at the day ahead for putting those charts in context. You need to be watching these charts in real time if you're trading these things. But hopefully the reports will just help you set up your day for the various instruments for European products. And so, as I say, we cover emissions, gas and power. So, and the call is here immediately. If you want to go and see what the call is, just click and it will take you straight to the instrument that you're most interested in. So hopefully you'll find the reports of value. And if you're an Updata client, this really just helps you understand the moves for the day and what to watch on your charts in real time. Look forward to sharing some more with you. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. A lot of my clients I consult with, so very happy to have discussions. Bye for now.